Good afternoon, Kiwanis. We have three special guests here today to share with us some insights and thoughts on cultivating communities. And to start us off, we have Dave Kelly. Dave is a professional speaker, trainer, author, and coach. He has spoken and trained professionally more than 600 times, including more than 350 different colleges and universities during his career. He is the author of 3 books on leadership and motivation. David has been a member of Key Club, Circle K, and Kiwanis. He has been a lieutenant governor in all 3 organizations and served in other leadership roles in the Kiwanis family, including CKI International President and Georgia CKI District Administrator. He is the only 9-time recipient of the CKI Distinguished District Administrator Award and was awarded the 2021 Circle of Service Award. He is the national coordinator of APCA Serves, the community engagement initiative of the Association for the Promotion of Campus Activities, and was named as the APCA Campus Speaker of the Year in 2019 and 2022. He is married to fellow Kiwanian Dia Stokes Kelly and has 2 daughters, Amanda and Katie. Please welcome Dave Kelly.
Hello, Kiwanis and Circle K. I am so excited to be here with you in Minneapolis. This is so great. This is actually the 40th anniversary of my year as Circle K International President. I know. And I'm so thrilled you're all here to celebrate with me. Oh, we're going to need more cake. We're talking about mentorship today, and I am really thrilled I'd be talking about this topic. You know, I think there have been some great mentors throughout history that we can look back on. People that have wisdom to share, and they help bring along other people with that wisdom. Or those who seem to be almost magical in their ability to lead their charges and those in their care and mentor others to show them the way. But then there are some very fierce mentors who will defend and watch after the people that they mentor to make sure that no harm comes to them and that only the best will happen for them. And then there's those mentors who show the way rather than telling the way so that others can find what's best for them. And I'm going to ask you to think about this. Who has mentored you? Who in your life? Think about the different people that there have been. Teachers, co-workers, professors, fellow Kiwanians, fellow Circle K'ers. When I think about this, I think about one mentor, and that was Larry Ritgarn, who was the past governor and past Circle K district administrator for the Minnesota Dakotas district. Yeah, we're right here in his area, yeah, absolutely. And I knew him for a long time, and I remember talking to him once, and he was talking to me about recruitment. And he said, you know, we spend so much time telling people about what we already do that we never ask them what they want to do when they get into Kiwanis. So he switched it, and he started saying to people, well, what do you think the community needs? What do you think our Kiwanis Club should do to help address that? And once he'd hear their ideas, he would say, that is so great. How about you join our club and we'll put you in charge of it. He was mentoring them before they even knew he was doing it. That's a great mentor. So lots of people that we have are mentors. And I'm just wondering, is your mentor in this room? Look around, maybe they are. If you're near them and you can reach them, give them a high five, you can give them a hug, maybe a fist bump. If they're a little further away, just point to them and give them some love. So go ahead and show some love to your mentor. Yeah, look at this, I love this. I can see this all around the room. And some of you are going like, me? When I think about this also, I think about all the students I've had a chance to mentor. And you heard in my introduction that I received the Circle of Service Award from CKI in 2021. Stay with me, I'm not bragging. But I say this because when I read the nominators' letters that were submitted for the award, every one of them talked about how they saw me as a mentor and how my mentorship had affected them. That touched me very deeply, and it really impressed upon me just how important it is to mentor others. Now, I'd love to talk to you about all of my students, but today I only have time to talk about two. One came to me, I met him when he was a freshman in college. He chartered the first CKI club after I became district administrator. And he did a great job as charter president. He served as lieutenant governor on our district board for 2 terms, was distinguished both times. He won awards. He had a special spark for the Kiwanis family. He'd been in Key Club, he'd been around Kiwanis, and he loved Circle K. And he did such a great job. And after he graduated, he joined Kiwanis. Now, I'd like to think it's because the example that my wife and I set for our students led him to decide he wanted to be a Kiwanian too, but knowing him, that was always going to happen. And he's had such great success. Last summer, I was proud to nominate him to be the governor-elect for the Georgia District of Kiwanis. And on, October 1st, you can applaud for him. Let's applaud for Brent. I know he's doing a club thing right now. He's doing something for Kiwanis, so he's not in the room, but he's going to be our governor on October 1st, and I couldn't be any prouder of him, and also I get to play a small part in his team. So that's great mentorship when they are able to continue that journey that you help them on, and I'm glad to see him in that role. Now, I had the chance to serve with 9 outstanding governors as their administrator. 6 of them were distinguished, 7 of them won Distinguished District Awards. They were all great, and again, I can't talk about all of them, but there's one I'm going to talk about. And the first time I met her, she was at the other end of my dining room table. We were having a convention meeting, and she'd just been appointed district convention chair. And I remember looking at her and going, who is this person? Okay, sometimes mentors can be idiots. I know, I'm sorry. Well, I found out who she was because she was amazing. She served in a number of leadership roles in our district. When she was president of her CKI club, 1 out of every 15 students at her school was a member of Circle K International. That is an amazing stat. She served as governor and was a force to be reckoned with. She was amazing. We traveled together, we had phone calls, we had meetings at our house, and I always loved mentoring her. And I remember as she was leaving the house one time, we were standing at the front door, and as she was about to go out, I'm talking to her, and I'm throwing so much stuff at her that she literally at one point went like this. And I still don't know to this day if she didn't want to listen to me talk anymore, or if her brain was full and she was afraid stuff was going to start falling out. She has since moved on to the Carolinas district. She's their district administrator and doing an awesome job. And I would love it if you'd applaud for Jennifer Hethcox as well. Yeah. Now, and here I am bragging. Both Brent and Jennifer have also received the Circle of Service Award from CKI. Thank you. Yeah. Congratulations to them. And again, it shows when you show an interest in other people, when you be positive, when you lift them up, they can do amazing things. So who are the people that you can mentor? Think about those people in your life that you have the possibility of affecting. Could it be Kiwanis to Kiwanis member, Kiwanis to Service Leadership Program, SLP to Kiwanis, or Kiwanis to the community? We have these opportunities. Now, I'd love to keep this conversation going. I have a booth in the exhibit hall. Come by and get one of my I'm a Servant Leader buttons. They're free. Come by and get a book. They're not free. Or 20, however many you'd like to get, and I'd love to share those with you. I'm going to finish with sharing about the pivotal moment in my life which sums up mentorship. I was a member of the Key Club in my high school. I went to a very small high school in Wisconsin, in a village, and I joined because the band director was the Key Club advisor, and I was in band and jazz band and choir, and I thought, well, if he thinks it's cool, I want to join too. And so I did, and I was never an officer, but I was an active member. Near the end of my junior year, our club president came in and told us a story about a convention going on up in Green Bay. Now, to me, Green Bay was a big city, and I wanted to go spend a weekend there. I had some money saved up. I had saved it up from working on a farm the summer before. I'd been saving it up to take this girl to prom, But when I asked her, she turned me down. Yeah. She was waiting for this other guy to ask her. Then he never did. Ha! So she had to stay home and I got to go to Green Bay. Well, when I got there, I was blown away. There were over 600 high school students there. It was bigger than my whole high school. And that first night, they put us into meeting rooms called a caucus. And our division, which was kind of south central part of the state, had 7 or 8 schools there. We were on one side of the room. And then there was another division from the northern part of the state, had about 10 schools. And they had candidates for big offices like governor and district secretary who had posters up all over the hotel. And so these candidates would come in and they wore coats and ties, and they would shake our hands and answer our questions and pass out their literature. It was very overwhelming for a first-timer. And in between those people, those big offices, there was a guy on that side of the room telling them what he would do if they would vote for him to be their lieutenant governor. But nobody was running from our side of the room. And the guy running the meeting was just begging for somebody to run. And after a while, my advisor nudged me and said, "Why don't you do it?" And I said, "Me? I don't even know what that thing is. How can I be on the district board? I've never been an officer in our club." But I thought about it and I thought, I'll raise my hand, I'll say I'll do it. They'll see I'm not any good and don't know anything, and somebody better will get elected. So I raised my hand and I said, I'll do it. And I learned a lesson about volunteering that night. You tend to get what you volunteer for. Well, I went home and I just read all the books and manuals they gave me because I was in school BC, before computers. And I just did what the books and manuals said to do. And at the end of that year, out of 14 lieutenant governors in our district, 2 were named as outstanding, and I was one of them. And thank you. Appreciate that. And then at that time, you could only nominate 1 for the international award from each district, and I got to be our nominee. And that summer in Washington, D.C., in front of 3,000 people at the Key Club International Convention, out of over 700 lieutenant governors in the whole organization, only 14 were named as outstanding, and I was one of them. Thank you. But my journey wasn't complete. It had started with I'll do it, and it continued into college, into Circle K. And I've joined at the University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh. Yes. And for the rest of you, that is a real place, by the way. And I was lieutenant governor, then governor, international vice president, and international president. And I loved it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I got to travel all over, saw places I loved. I moved to Atlanta. I joined a Kiwanis club in Atlanta. I became an assistant administrator for CKI. And on October 27th, 1990, I was at a training conference in Griffin, Georgia, 500 Kiwanians in a room. And as we were there, they were giving out awards, and there was a session. And after the session was over, I didn't have anywhere to go, so I was hanging out with the college students, talking to them. And there was this woman who had been way back in the room that we saw earlier jump up and down when her club won an award. And she came up and started talking to our Circle K governor. And after a few minutes, he turned to me and he said, "Dave, I'd like you to meet Dia. Dia, meet Dave." And in that moment, I met my wife. Thank you. That is the biggest wow response I've ever had to that. I'm happy I didn't go to prom. It all started with I'll do it. And because of mentors along the way. Thank you, Stan Johnson, for inspiring me to join Key Club. Thank you, Jim Sprouse, for giving me that nudge to run for lieutenant governor. Thank you, Mike McCauley, who taught me how to be a Circle K leader. And thank you, Ali Tabatabai, for introducing me to my wife. We all can be mentors. We all can be mentees, and we can grow and learn. And that's how the Kiwanis family will continue to grow. It's all up to us. We just have to say, I'll do it. So be with me now on the count of 3. I'm going to ask you to say, I'll do it. Don't mess up. It's when I say 3, I know, Kiwanians, I trust the Circle Kers. Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Kiwanis and Circle K. Have a great rest of your convention. Thank you.